We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Eric Saubert, new Miami Dolphins tight end. I like this pickup, obviously a cheap option. Getting him in there, he'll probably be like tight end 2, tight end 3. But I actually think he comes in and he's the best blocking tight end on the roster. I think he's better than Smythe in that area, and he'll make a similar impact in the passing game. Won't be too involved, but he can make plays. He's a smart player, knows how to find soft spots versus zone, and he can attack down the seam a little bit as an athlete. But he really impresses me as a blocker. Like this play in particular, you will definitely see him do stuff like this on the Dolphins, getting him on the move in McDaniel's offense, these types of plays. And look how he's able to cut off this outside linebacker, number 51 here. He's coming from across the formation and is still able to get to the outside shoulder of 51. He just understands positioning and leverage, really just gets his hips in the right positioning, and then it's over. Now he has his back for his quarterback to just run through this lane. He completely takes him out of the play. He's a great job of sustaining his blocks. I feel like a lot of the tight ends that we've had that have been good blockers come off their blocks pretty quickly after getting into a good spot. But Saubert maintains his leverage and is in control of this the entire time. Good footwork, active base. He has a nice base here as well. Good bend in the lower half, which you really want from your blocking tight end. And then obviously the whole thing of getting him on the move and still getting into the correct spot is really impressive there from Saubert. In the passing game, Saubert's not going to wow you with like amazing routes and athleticism, but he does have a good feel of finding these soft spots versus these zone coverages right here. Once he notices number 50 turn to look towards the quarterback, and he has a great feel on these, like when the pocket breaks down, working in scramble drill right here, and he sees his quarterback, and once he recognizes he's out of the pocket and number 50 is taking away the starting lane, he slows this down, finds that spot, catches it, and then works in transition. He has solid hands. Can make catches down the field. He can work down the seam and things like that. And then shows off some strength to carry these defenders, and not super easy to get down. Obviously, this isn't going to be a huge strength, I would say, in the passing game. You can see it from this angle as well, just how he recognizes this, the subtle nuance of the game. He sees his quarterback rotating out. He sees 50 flip his head around and look away from him, so he just stops on a dime, finds that soft spot, works upfield, picks up, maximized yards right there. An impressive play from Saubert. Obviously, he's not going to be some top-tier receiving tight end, but it's nice to see him at least have a little bit of an impact there. I think my favorite part of this game is just the versatility as a blocker. We've seen him on the move. Now you get him aligned as like a tight slot receiver here to get him to crackback block on J.J. Watt, and this is an impressive play, just completely taking him out, just understands what his job is. Like, he knows he doesn't need to just destroy J.J. Watt, and he's not trying to. He just attacks low, attacks that outside hip, gets himself in a solid position here. Good bend, good burst, good base, everything there. The 3 Bs. His balance is good. He knows how to use his hands. Look how he extends those hands and completely puts J.J. Watt out of the play. Even runs him into another sort of blocker right there. Takes out his own blocker, but also slows down the defender. Gets him out of the space, but he does his job perfectly. Love that versatility that he brings as a blocker. Saubert does a really good job of sustaining these blocks versus these bigger defensive ends, which you don't see a lot of tight ends being able to do. Look how he just carries, drives, moves this defensive end. He just displaces players, which a lot of tight ends struggle with. So usually when you're watching a blocking tight end, you want to look, can they position themselves and just put themselves in a position to help the running back find these lanes, or are they really like displacing, moving defenders out of the way? And Saubert does a really good job of both. Look at his hands here. Perfect hand placement. He has one high hand and one low hand to create this torque, which allows him to get in complete control in the sternum, one in the higher shoulder. And now he's just creating movement with his hips here. He's squaring him up. Really good technical skills, and then just creates the push to help get this, 10-plus yard rush. Saubert right here, he does everything under control. He doesn't try to overdo anything. He doesn't get overextended, try to destroy defenders. He just is very under control. He has enough power to create movement when it gets everything correctly, like his hands, his footwork. But once, he helps his other tight end here get this reach block by just initially engaging 96 here. Once this other tight end's engaged, now he climbs the second level, cuts off 50, and just creates this lane to the outside, not overdoing anything, creating space. It's just a nice job helping out your teammates without, doing anything too crazy, just using his hands and active footwork. Saubert right here, just working to the flat. Nice little check down safety blanket option. This happens a lot in the Dolphins offense, just getting the ball out quickly into tight end's hands, and especially in those RPO looks that the Dolphins run a lot of, especially out into the flat. Saubert will get the ball in this type of situation. It's just nice to see him quickly identify where the defender is, make one guy miss, a DB, making him miss like this. So showing off a little bit of athleticism, better than Gesicki, because I don't think, he's not better than Gesicki as a receiver, but he's better than him after the catch, because I don't think I ever saw Gesicki make a guy miss. Gesicki is a good player, but just wasn't a good fit for the offense, and I think Saubert is that perfect fit. Another example of Saubert being the check down option, he's obviously blocking here initially, helping this out. He's getting a nice little check and release option down to the flat, and you wouldn't be a tight end, without getting a hurdle on your resume. I feel like every tight end goes for a hurdle, and you get to see off the athleticism there. Going to be known for his blocking, not for his receiving ability, but still able to, pick up some maximized yards after the catch, which is very important in this Dolphins offense. They didn't really have that with their tight ends last year. I think he's a little more athletic than Smythe and a better blocker. I really think, right now, he's probably the best tight end in the roster, even though he's not, a top-tier player. That's why I still want to draft a tight end in that second or third round. I want Sam Laporta out of Iowa. I think he's the perfect fit for the offense and brings, a great receiving ability and blocking ability. Look at Saubert here. They get him on the move, down on this 1-yard rushing touchdown. Nice to see them, changing up their look right before the snap, and then he just works his leverage in. He helps with the double team initially, working down on this defensive end. He attacks the low hip, helps him get complete control, and then immediately climbs to the second level and just keeps putting his back and his hips. He gets that left hand out to just get himself into a good position here, understands exactly what he's doing, and that creates a perfect hole for Melvin Gordon to fit through right here. Excellent blocking from Saubert. Just doesn't overdo anything, isn't trying to destroy anyone. He just understands his job, gets it done, and uses his hands well. You get those length extended. I feel like a lot of times I'm just seeing tight ends not getting their hands on until they're right into the chest with their chest, getting their hands on too late, but he gets those hands out early, knows when to use them, and another excellent play, just understanding your positioning. Saubert, as a receiver, quickly find the spot in the open zone. It's a 4th and 1. He turns himself, makes himself an easy throw for the quarterback, gives him this big target right here, extending the hands, showing him exactly where to throw this ball. He finds the spot in between the two zone defenders. It's 4th and 1 situation. He's catching it too, secures it, and then instantly turns up field to pick up a couple yards after the catch. Like to see that he turned into a runner very quickly there as he secured the catch. So impressive play from Saubert from a mental processing standpoint, and then the nice little nuance after the catch to get a couple extra yards by flipping those hips very quickly. We got 2 plays left, and they're both going to be Saubert just attacking down the seam. Like to see this from a tight end. Quickly snap that head around. You're not going to see him beat guys in man-to-man coverage with his amazing route running ability, but he knows how to attack zone. He gets around, the reroute from the linebacker here. He dips his shoulder, instantly gets back on his linebacker, and as soon as he gets behind the linebacker, he snaps his head around his eyes. He sees the too high safety, so he attacks the middle of the field exactly where you want to be, and then extends this. Good timing at the catch point, good ball skills, catch the ball away from your frame, fully extended, instantly turns into a runner after the catch. Obviously, he's not going to make too many guys miss like that, but an impressive play. Finding that soft spot again, working down the middle of the field. This play right here from Eric Saubert, probably the one you've seen on Twitter the most, his touchdown versus the Texans. He goes up, attacks this ball almost at the highest point. Really nice play here. Last play that we're going to break down. And he just gets down the seam. Like to see that he has this ability in him. He's not going to get too many opportunities like this, but he's in man-to-man versus a linebacker. He does a great job of hand fighting to create this sort of late separation right there, and now he's in just in great positioning to attack the ball. He tracks it all the way through. He probably could have played this with better hand technique, but he's still able to catch it away from his frame. And then I like to see that he stayed on his feet here. Obviously, he's in the end zone, so he didn't really need to stay on his feet, but you're not always going to be catching these in the end zone. This is impressive athleticism, in my opinion, impressive balance. Because a lot of times when you're catching like this, you're above, you take your feet off the ground, you easily get tangled up with the defender. You're catching the ball, trying to secure it in, and he stays on his feet. So nice athleticism, nice ball skills. I like the player. I like the fit in the team. I think as a blocker, the way they can use him with Alec Ingold, like the way they used Durham Smythe this year as a move blocking tight end. I think you'll still see Smythe doing that, but I think Saubert will definitely come in and fit that role as well. It can do a lot of those things. It just adds more versatility to the running game, in my opinion. And then he's another nice little check down option, nice little depth guy to have for Tua to go to, like fifth, sixth option when on the field. Like Smythe got some work last year with Tua, getting some touchdowns, getting some work over the middle of the field just when he needed to find someone versus those zones when they would double up Tyreek and Waddle. I think Saubert can come in and be that guy. So you guys enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.